Hello dear students, today we are going to start this paper again. We already discussed the first 5 questions from this paper, right, in the previous lecture. Today we are going to start from question number 6. So what question number 6 says, the functions f and g are defined. So functions f and g are defined and they have given us the functions. And what we have to calculate the value of g of 1.5. So first of all we have to find g of half. It means you have to replace x by half in this function, right? So what will you do? Instead of x here, you will write 1/2 minus 2/3, right? So when you replace x by 1/2, you will get this fraction. Then you will divide. Here there is no number in the denominator. It means there is 1, right? So the next step is you have to make the denominators equal. So here 2 and 1 are different denominators. You will make them equal by multiplying this fraction by 2. So it's 1/2 minus, when you multiply both the numerator and denominator by 2 here, it will become 4/2, right? This is just 3, so we will write 3 as it is. Then here you can see the denominators are equal. You can subtract 4 from 1, right? 1 minus 4 is just minus 3/2. And here this is division sign, so you will write it as divided by 3. Then what will you do? You will convert this division sign to multiplication. So it will become negative 3/2 times 1/3, right? Then this 3 and these 3, they cancel out each other and you will get negative 1/2. So the value of g of half is negative 1/2. Then what will you do? You will take the second part, write an expression for g of fx. How will you find an expression for g of fx, right? So where there is, what is fx? First of all you should know what is fx. Fx is 6x plus 8, right? So what will you do? You will take the function g of x, and in this function you will plug in x equals to f of x. The value of f of x is 6x plus 8. So you will replace x by 6x plus 8 in this function. So what will you get? Here you can see it's x minus 2. So instead of x you will write 6x plus 8. 6x plus 8 minus 2/3, right? So if you solve it further, you know 8 minus 2 is 6. It will become 6x plus 6/3, right? Then what you can do? You can factor out 6 from here. This and this, you can factor out 6. So when you factor out 6 from there, you will get x plus 2 x plus 1, because when you factor out 6 it will be x plus 1/3, and here 3 and 2 cancel out, right? So it will become 2 x plus 1, right? So the function, the expression for g of fx will be 2 times x plus 1. Then we will go to the next question, the third part. Find the inverse function f inverse of x. So f of x is given to us, right? What is f of x? F of x is 6x plus 8, right? So to find it inverse, we have to follow a few steps. First of all, you will convert this equation into a linear equation. You will replace f of x by y. So that's the first step. Then what will you do? To find the inverse function, you will replace x and y, swap x and y with each other. Like instead of y, you will write x, and instead of x, you will write y. Right? Then what you have to do? You have to isolate y from here. So how will you isolate y from here? The first step is you have to get rid of this 8, right? So you will subtract 8 on both sides. Here you will subtract 8 and here you will subtract 8. So what will you get? These two cancel out. Here you will get x minus 8 equals to 6y. Then what you have to do? You have to get rid of this 6. So you will divide 6 on both sides. So this 6 and this 6 cancel out, and here you will get on the right side it's y. I will write it on the left side, and here it's x minus 8 over 6, right? So this function is the inverse of f. So inverse of f is this function, right? Then we will move to the next question, next part. The diagram below shows the line segment which passes through the points A and B. So the diagram is given to us. There are 2 points. You can see point A is here and point B is here. Then what we have to find here? Determine the coordinates of A and B. So what do you mean by coordinates? Here you should know coordinates are in this form, x and y for any point, right? So first of all we will look at point A, right? So for point A, you can see from here to here, this distance actually, this is the y-axis, this is the origin, right? So from origin to point A, what's the distance? Because this point A is on the left side of the y-axis, so it will be negative, right? The value of x means the x coordinate will be a negative number, and it's clearly shown here that it's minus 2. So the coordinate of x coordinate of A is minus 2, negative 2. And what's its y coordinate? Y coordinate is the distance of point A from x-axis, right? This distance, and you can see it's 3. So this will be the coordinate of point A. Similarly, we will look at the coordinate of point B, right? So point B is on the right side of the y-axis. It's on the right side. So the value of x, here you can see if I draw a line from here to here and here to here. So where this line touches at x-axis, that will be its x coordinate. This is 4 and this is 6. Both of them are positive. So the coordinates of point B will be 4 and 6. Then we will look at the next part. the gradient of the line segment AB. So here you can see how will you find gradient. It is also called as slope, right? Slope is actually rise over run in simple. So this is if I make a triangle like this, right? So what's the rise and what's the run here? So here 1, 2, 3. There are 3 points there. Here you can see there are 3 points. So this will be 3. Rise will be 3, right? The gradient, I will represent the gradient as G. So the rise is 3. And what's the run here? So from here to here there are 4 points, and on the left side there are 2 points. So from here to here the total distance is 6, right? So it will be 6. Then if you simplify it, you will get it as half, 1 over 2. So it means the gradient of the line segment AB, this line segment, right? AB is half. Then what we have to find in the third part, the equation of the line which passes through A and B. We have to find the equation of a line. So how will you find an equation of a line? You should know y is equals to mx plus b. This is the equation to find the equation of a line. Here what is m? M is actually this gradient, the slope, right? And what is b? B is the y-intercept. What do you mean by y-intercept? Because we are going to find the slope of this line, right? So if we look at this line where it touches the y-axis, so here you can see the line segment touches the y-axis at 4, right? So 4 is the y-intercept of this line. So here b will be 4, m will be 1 over 2. So what will be the equation of the line? Equation of the line will be 1 over 2 x plus 4. So this equation is the equation of the line segment AB, right? Then we will look at the next question. Question number 7. The table below shows the distribution on the masses of 100 packages, right? So 100 packages are given to us and their masses are given. Here you can see this is the mass and this is a grouped data, right? So first of all, what we have to see, copy and complete the table to show the cumulative frequency for the distribution. So we have to find the cumulative frequency. First of all, we will complete this table. You can see how to find the cumulative frequency. First of all, you will write this number as it is. So it's 12. Then you will add this number to this. 28 plus 12 is 40. So the next frequency will be 40 here. Similarly, then we will do 30 plus 40. We know 30 plus 40 is 70. So I will write 70 here, right? Then you will add 70 and 22. So it becomes 92. Then you will add 92 and 8. It will become 100, right? So this is the cumulative frequency distribution. We have completed the table, right? Then what will we do? Here we will make another column here. I will roughly make it. Here we will write the upper class boundary, right? What do you mean by upper class boundary? You will add 0.5 to all of these numbers. These are the upper classes, right? So what will you do? You will add 0.5 to all these numbers. So what will you get? It's 10, it will become 10.5, right? And then it's 20.5, then it's 30.5, then it's 40.5, and the 50.5, right? So what we have done here, in the first part we have just to copy and complete a table to show the cumulative frequency for the distribution. So this row shows us the cumulative frequency, this column, right? Then what will we do? Using a scale of 2 cm to represent 10 kg on the x-axis and 1 cm to represent 10 packages on the y-axis. Draw the cumulative frequency curve for the data. So what we have to do? We have to take two axes. Like here you can see this horizontal line show x-axis and this line shows y-axis, right? Then we have to draw the graph according to the scale. So on x-axis actually we will write the upper class boundaries, right? So we have to write it somewhere here, a point here, because it's 10.5, right? And then here 20.5, then here 30.5, then 40.5, then 50.5. Then on the vertical axis we will take, according to the scale, we have to 1 centimeter to represent 10 packages. So here for example this is 1 centimeter, right? We took 1 centimeter as 10 packages, and here we took 2 centimeter as 10 kg, right? So then what we have to do, we have to draw the frequency distribution. So to save time I already drawn it here. You can see it's 12. The first frequency, cumulative frequency, is 12, so I mentioned it here, you can see. Then the second is 40. 40 is here, right? So I mentioned 40 here. Then 70 here, and then 92, and then 100, right? On 50.5, the upper class boundaries. Then what they ask us to find, that is important. Estimate from the graph the median mass of the packages. We have to find the median mass of the package. Just although there are different ways to find the median of a group data, right? But here they just ask to use the graph, so we will just use the graph and find the median. So we have to see what's the maximum cumulative frequency and what's the minimum. Minimum is 0 and the maximum is 100. So what's the half of these two values? That is 50. So I will draw a line here at y equals to 50, right? Then what we had to see, we had to see where this line, this horizontal line we drawn, where it touches our graph. The red line here shows the graph, right? So it touches somewhere here, right? And if I see where it touches the x-axis, right? So it's in between 20 and 20.5 and 25, so it's around about 24. If you draw the actual graph, you will get this value as 24, right? So 24 is the median of this data, right? The median mass. Then the probability that a package chosen at random has a mass which is less than 35 kg. So we have to find a probability at 35 kg. Where the mass is 35 kg, if I draw a line here, right, at 35 kg, it's somewhere here, right? So we have to see where this line which we drawn touches the graph. So it touches the graph somewhere here, right? So this point, we have to see this point. If you draw the actual graph, this point will be at y equals to 82, right? So 82%, because there are 100 the maximum value, so 82%, and if you convert it into probability, a fraction 82 over 100, right? So to find the probability, we will convert it into decimal point, so 0.82, right? So when the probability that package is chosen at random has a mass which is less than 35 kg, so that probability is 0.82. Then we will move to question number 8. What it says, answer sheet is provided for the question. We have to read this. The figure below shows the first 3 diagrams in a sequence. So here first 3 diagrams are given to us, right? They are in a sequence. Each diagram is made up of stick joined at the ends by thumbtacks. The sticks are represented by line and the thumbtacks are dot by dot. In each diagram there are T thumbtacks and S. So T and S represents the thumbtacks and sticks, right? So first of all, what this is here, draw the fourth diagram in the sequence. So we have to draw the fourth diagram in the sequence. So first of all, we will see in the first diagram how many thumbtacks are there and how many sticks. Inverse the value of T and S. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I draw the sequence here for T, right? There are 4 thumbtacks in the first diagram, and how many sticks are there? 4. Then we will move to the next diagram. Here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, and then the sticks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? Then we will move to this diagram 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And how many sticks are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right? So we got 2 sequences here for T and for S. Right? So what will be the next number in the sequence? Here you can see difference is 3. The next number will be 13. Right? And here the difference is 4. The next number will be 16. So in the next number, in the next diagram, there should be 13 thumbtacks and 16 sticks. So the diagram will become like this, right? So you can count the thumbtacks and the sticks, it will be accordingly. Then what it says, how many sticks are in the 6th diagram? So 6th diagram, right? Although there are many ways, if we complete the sequence here, we'll see 1, 2, 3. We have 4 elements here. So 4, 7, 10, 13. 4 terms are there. What will be the next term here and the next one? And if we, so what's the 6? How many sticks? They are asking about sticks here, right? So 8, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20 and 24. If we complete the second sequence till its 6th term, then it will be 24, right? So it's clear from here there are 24 sticks in the sixth diagram, right? So then what we have to find here, how many thumbtacks are in the 17th diagram. So we can see that is farther away, so we will use the formula an equals to a plus n minus 1 and d, right? We can also use this for this part, but this part was simple, so we counted it directly. So for the second one, because we had to find the 7 diagram, right? So we had to find the 7 diagram. So it means here n equals to 7. The value of n will be 7, right? A shows, because we are calculating the thumbtacks, so we have to use this sequence, right? A is the first term here, so A is just 4. And what is D here? D is the common difference. Difference is 3 here, right? So if we calculate an from here, an equals to, what is A? A is 4, right? N minus 1, I will calculate directly. N is 7, so it will be 6, and D is 3. So 3 times 6 is 18, 18 plus 4 is 22, right? So in the 7th diagram, there will be 22 thumbtacks. Then there is next part, part C. Complete the table by inserting the missing values at the rows marked 1 and 2. So we have to find these two rows. In these two rows, we have to find the missing values. So first of all, what will we see? We can say we know this one, 4, 8 and 12. These are the values of S, and these are the values of T, right? So what's the rules of connecting T and S that is given to us here? That is 1 plus 3 over 4 times 4, 8. Here what's changing? We can see just these values are changing. It is 4. If S is 4, we have to write 4 here, and if S is 8, we have to write 8 here, and if S is 12, we have to write 12 here. So what will happen? We have to find this thing here. I will write it here, right? So it will be 1 plus 3 over 4. You can see 1 plus 3 over 4, that is same for all these sequence, right? So you will just write 3, 4, then times. This time you have to plug in the value of S here. You can see value of S is 52, so you will write 52 here, right? And if you simplify this one, it will be like, if you simplify 52 and 4, it will be just 13, right? So 13 times 3 is 39, plus 1 is 40. So the value of T here will be 40, right? Then what we had to do, we had to come to the next row. Here you can see S is unknown and the sequence is unknown, but the value of T is given to us, right? So what we had to use? We had to use the same rule here. What's the rule? 1 plus 3 over 4, right? Times, this time S is unknown to us, so we will write S here. This is S, right? Equals to, but the value of T is given to us, that is 55. Then what will we do? we will move this one to the other side or get rid of this one. We have to subtract 1 here, right? So it will become 3 over 4 times s equals to 54, right? Then if we have to get rid of this thing, we will move it to the other side and it will become 54 times it will be swept. This is the rule of getting rid of the fraction from here. So if you simplify it more, 54 times 4, we can use a calculator here, right? 54 times 4 equals to 216 divided by 3 is 72, right? So it will become 72 here. S will be 72, right? And the sequence will become like this. So write the rule in terms of S and T. So we have to write the rule here. In the rule here you can see 1 and 3 over 4 are same, right? 1 plus 3 over 4. Then this is changing according to the value of S, so we will write S here. And when we simplify it, we get the value of T. So this is the rule which relates S and T, right? Then we will move to the next question. What it says: solve the pair of simultaneous equations. We have given two simultaneous equations, right? Here you can see y equals to x square minus x plus 3 and y equals to 6 minus 3x. So what will we do? We have to get rid of y first, because y and y, the left sides are equal, so the right sides will be equal to each other. So what's the right side of the first equation? X square minus x plus 3. And what's the right side of the second equation? 6 minus 3x, right? So what will we do? We have to move, first of all we will move both of these to the left side, right? So x square minus x plus 3 minus 6 plus 3x will be equal to 0. Then we will combine the similar term. It's x and it's x, so negative x plus 3x. There is no similar term with x squared, so we will write x squared and it's 2x minus 3 equals to 0, right? So then what will we do? We have to find the value of x from here. There are many ways to find the value of x by using quadratic formula or by using simple factorization. So we will use simple factorization here. Minus 3 and 2, right? So it will be minus 2 and plus 3 and minus 1, right? So it will be x square plus 3x minus 1 x minus 3 equals to 0. So you will factor out x from here. You will get x plus 3 and minus 1 and x plus 3, right, equals to 0. So if you factorize it more, you will get x plus 3, because that is common in between these two, and x minus 1 equals to 0. From here you will get two values of x. X will be negative 3 and x will be just 1. So the solution for these two simultaneous equations will be negative 3 and 1 for x, right? It says express the function fx. This function is given to us and we have to convert it into this format. First of all, we will take the function that is 4x squared minus 8x minus 2. There are many ways to solve it. First of all, what you can do, you can factor out 4 from the first two terms, like 4x squared minus 2x minus 2. We are doing the completing square method here, right? Then what we have to do, here this is not in the whole squared form, right? It's completing square method here to convert it into a whole square. So completing square method, the first step, we will take this number that is 2, right? So we will half it. What's the half of 2? We know half of 2 is 1, right? So in parentheses, first of all we will write x squared minus 2x as it is, but here we will add 1 square and then subtract 1 square here, right? 2. So 4 times this first combined, if we combine them, we will get x minus 1 whole squared, right? And this one is just 1. 1 squared is 1, and if we multiply it with 4, it will become minus 4 and then minus 2, right? So 4x minus 1 whole squared, and it will become minus 6, right? So then what we have done here, we have converted this function in vertex form, right? So this will be the answer. Then we will see what they ask in the next part. State the minimum value of fx. We have to find the minimum value of the function, right? So what we can do, if we look at the graph of this function, right? So we have to see either it is concave up or concave down, right? So it depends upon this value of a. If it is positive, it will be concave up. If it is negative, it will be concave down, right? So this is positive, so here this graph of this function will be concave up. And minimum point here, the minimum point is the vertex of the graph, right? So find the vertex of the graph. From this equation here, h, because this is positive here, right? If it is like this, a times x minus h plus k, right? If it is in this format, then here h represents the vertex of the parabola, right? If we compare this with this, right? Here what will be the vertex? H will be 1 and k will be negative 6, right? So the vertex of this graph will be 1 and negative 6, right? It will be somewhere here, 1 and negative 6. So what's the minimum value of fx? The minimum value of fx will be negative 6, right? So negative 6 will be the minimum value of fx, and the value of x for which fx is minimum. So what's the value of x for which the function is minimum? The value of x is just 1, right? So the answer for this part, 1. Then there is another part of the same question. What it says: the speed time graph below, not drawn to the scale, shows the three stages journey of a racing car over a period of 60 seconds. During the first stage of the journey, the car increased its speed from 0 to 12 meters per second in x seconds, accelerating at 0.6 meters. So first of all, we had to see the graph. Here the graph is divided into three stages. So what it says: during the first stage of the journey, the car increased its speed from 0 to 12. Here you can see the speed was 0 at this point, but at this point its speed becomes 12, and the acceleration is 0.6 meter per second square. You have to find x. You should know what is x here, right? X is the time, and this value here y will represent the speed. So if we had to find we know what is acceleration. Acceleration equals to velocity over time, right? So in this here, what is x? X is the time, right? So for the first stage we have given the acceleration. Acceleration is 0.6, and what's the velocity here? Velocity is 12 meter per second, right? And time is represented by x, because the horizontal x shows the time, and here to here the time is x. We have to find x. So what will we do? If we swap 0.6 and x will become 12 over 0.6, right? If we take the calculator and divide 12 by 0.6, it will become 20. X will be 20 seconds. Time will be 20 seconds for the first stage. Then what is the gradient of the graph during the second stage? Explain in one sentence what the car is doing during this stage. So during the second stage, you can see the velocity is constant, right? So because the velocity is constant, the gradient of the line, the slope will be 0. And calculate the distance traveled by the car on the third stage of the journey. Here we have to find the distance, right? Because this is velocity and time graph, right? So what will be the distance? If we represent the distance by s, then in the third stage you can see this triangle is formed, right? So the area of this triangle will show us the distance covered. So what's the area of a triangle? We know base times height over 2. So what's the base here? Base is 60 minus 25. We know 60 minus 25 is 35. So the base is 35, and what's the height? Height is 12, right? Divided by 2. So if you take a calculator and 35 times 12 equals to 420, divided by 2 equals to 210, right? So the distance here will be 210 meters. That will be the distance covered by the body in the third stage, right? So today we will stop here. In the next lecture, we will do the remaining questions of this paper. Bye. Thank you.